Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight I'm going to be giving you guys an update on the community peen who decided to air out that he was a father of 33 and bragged about it. Now, after he got dragged from here, there, and everywhere, he decided to go run and hide, and now he has made his page private. Now, a lot of people started to expose a lot of his information and show that he is not the father that he claimed to be. And after all of these things started being revealed, he decided to close up shop, make everything private, and try to run off of social media. Child. Okay, and we're going to get into it. But first, for y'all who have not heard this story, let me give you guys a quick breakdown right after this commercial break. And it is time to tell y'all about my website. So if you guys are feeling the look that I am wearing today with my LA bucket hat, I definitely have several bucket hats available on my website. I've shown you guys the bucket hat in tan. I've showed you guys me wearing an olive one. I've showed you guys me wearing a leather one. And I've showed you guys me wearing all kinds of different bucket hats on my website. And you can get these goodies on my website at www.neekatnight.com. If you want to get the discount, you have to apply the discount in the checkout, okay? So a dude with over 30 kids decided to have a photo shoot with the majority of his children, and he wanted to brag about them being his legacy. He did this photo shoot alongside his mother, and she was basically passing the buck, saying that she made him, he's her legacy, and then now he's sharing that he has all of these kids as his legacy. Once these photos started to go viral and people noticed that all of the kids that were in the photo were not even all the kids that he still had 9 that were missing. People were like, this is disgusting. If you looked at the first row of his kids, all the kids that was on the first row of the bench, many of them all looked the same age. It was about 5 or 6 kids that looked like they was either 2 or 3 years old. And people was just saying, dude, this is raggedy as F. Now, addition to a lot of people saying that this was raggedy, there was a lot of people who was feeling some type of remorse for him. Like, at least he got the kids' hair braided. At least he says he's in their lives. At least he's taking care of them. This man got on live and threw a couple 20s at the screen and had y'all convinced that he was father of the year, child. But there was a lot of people who listened to these, at least this and at least that, and felt like it was a crock of BS because there's no way a man who is driving the truck. Now, I can see if he owned the trucking company and he actually had people working for him and he had truck drivers under his company. No, he is the truck driver in the truck driving around. So they were like, there's no way that a man who's driving the truck has the money and the resources to take care of that many children. And there's no way that he is able to spend the time needed with all of these kids because he simply cannot be there. Number one, he's on the road. Number two, the kids are spread out in different households. And a lot of people was like, this is just creating a lot of broken homes and this is nothing to at least be, glamorizing about. There was another person who was like, and if this was a woman, the moment a woman got 2 baby daddies, y'all be up and down and she's all kind of dusty, this, and that. But this dust bucket who has all of these children by all of these different mamas and all of these kids who are the same age, meaning that he was slinging peen from house to house to house to house to house, dropping off disrupted pH balances from house to house to house to house. Why are we praising such scum behavior? Well, there was a lot of ruffles, a lot of people's feathers that he ruffled, and a lot of people felt some type of way, and they started to do some digging because they did not believe the facade of this father of the year with a man who would make such choices to have good standing. And what they found out is that he had a lot of child support cases. He had a lot of criminal history charges as well, along with an inappropriate charge dealing with a child. Okay. Oh, yeah. So there was a lot of people who did the quick Google, put his name in the database, and there was some very concerning things that popped up. People talked about it on social media, and he decided to scrub his page, honey, and he made all of his posts private. He made his page private, and he is like, listen, these ends is exposing me. They are looking up my information. I done ruffled too many women's feathers. Let me go run and hide is what he did, child. So when you go to his Facebook page, there used to be all these posts about how he was, chirping over child support. There used to be all these posts about how he felt about his baby mamas, all kind of posts that people have started to dig up. Now, when you go to his page, child, he got one post back in 2018, and everything has literally been scrubbed. It is just this one photo of a cover photo, and that is it. He closed up shop, and he said, I ain't going back and forth with you ninjas no more. Y'all done started going into my criminal history. Y'all done started digging up stuff. I know he is regretting throwing them $20 bills now, because people dug all in his business that he felt was necessary to berate them and tell them that he had more money than them with 33 kids.
So I'm going to put it like this here. You don't take care of Nan George, child, keep your motherfucking mouth closed when it come to Brian kids. Because all I'm going to get taken care of, motherfucker. As long as I got breath in my motherfucking body, I'm going to take care of mine. And I don't give a fuck how nobody else feel about it. You won't take care of me, you don't take care of my kids, you don't do a motherfucking thing, so what you got to say is irrelevant. You ain't got no motherfucking money, then sit the fuck down. And I meant that. Because I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. You hear that? Yeah, bitch. I'm that nigga, though. Pull out game ain't weak. I just don't pull out, bitch. For you motherfuckers that want to know, I don't pull out. It ain't weak, motherfucker. I don't pull out. What you mean, weak, motherfucker? Instead of talking about my motherfucking kids, you niggas got 3 or 4 and don't do a motherfucking thing. I ain't weak over here. My pockets ain't weak and my dick soul ain't weak. Ass nigga. You pussy ass nigga sitting there talking. Ain't got a motherfucking dollar in your pocket. Ain't got a dollar in your motherfucking pocket. Ain't got a dollar in your motherfucking pocket. But you want to talk that shit. I'm still that nigga with 30. I'm still that nigga with 30. I'm still that nigga with 30. What you mean, bitch? I'm still that nigga. When you get like me, then you gon' fuck with me, bitch. That's all I got to say, nigga.
Child, well, he told the people when they get like him, come F with him. And I guess apparently it must have been the people who got like him and pulled out. I mean, how much money was that? That looked about, it was all 20s. So it looked like he pulled out about, maybe like $500 or $600 out the bank. So maybe somebody with $500 was like, okay, I'm going to come get like you and I'm going to Google your record. And the record shows that you have some very concerning things with a lot of child support cases under your belt. Or it could have been one of his baby mamas to be like, boy, you pulled out $600, but you want to flex and claim that you got $20,000 just laying around on the floor. And they're like, child, we need to collect. Maybe that's why he scrubbed his social media. Also, he realized, like, damn, I got these 30 kids. I'm flexing about 30 bands. But then in another post just not too long ago, I was talking about how, I was jacked up out here with bad credit because of the child support. But it's like, why you got bad credit and why you jacked up if you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
He getting money right now. You on Facebook sitting here talking about me. I got about 20,000 on the floor of my truck. You show it to me. That's 20 grand right now, cash. And I go to the bank, I'll shut you down. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, baby mama's out. Yeah, don't think about that money because I'm broke. Remember that. I'm always tell you I'm broke. That's the word thing gonna come out my mouth. I'm broke. But mother, I got 4 accounts, mother. But I always remember, I'm broke. I am broke. Baby mamas, I am broke. Remember that.
Child, now I'm thinking maybe it was one of the baby mamas that got him retracting all of the stuff that he said, because he told them he got 20 bands just laying on the floor, but then he want to taunt his baby mamas and say he broke. But you already know what it was already given anyways. I'm going to pause the video right there just to give you guys another commercial break. If you guys go on over to my website, I have a 40% off everything sale that you don't want to miss. Now, normally when I do my sales, y'all know I either do 40% off of the pajamas or like 10%, 15% off of the other stuff. Well, this is your chance to get you a rose or any of my adult goodies in addition to the bucket hats and all the other stuff that I normally just throw y'all 15%. Y'all get 40% off of the entire site this weekend only. So you definitely want to get a hold of that sale while supplies last, okay? Because, child, who don't like to save money? Going over to my website, www.neekatnight.com, get you 40% off of the entire purchase, but you have to put in the coupon code special, okay? You have to put in the coupon code special at checkout to get it. Now, let's resume the video. Child, now let's get into some of the stuff that was pulled up on his record. And the record shows that you have some very concerning things with a lot of child support cases under your belt. Okay, and it looked like the charge is the most recent one that involved the child is the most concerning one out of the bunch, if you know what I mean. So anyways, I'm going to talk to y'all about the one charge that has to do with him, you know, running up in somebody's house. Let's go to the report. All right, so I guess we can start here. This is a report from the Longview Journal, and I guess this is a news source that is in the town that he is from, and this is what it says. So a man assaulted a woman and threatened her with a hanky-panky pokey stick. Okay, y'all know what I mean. You get my drift. Yeah. So anyways, it says Longview police arrested a 30-year-old man Wednesday evening after a woman said he kicked in the door of her apartment, struck her, and threatened her with a hanky-panky pokey stick. Okay. And it says that Mr. Brian George, Mr. I take all of my care of my 30 kids, okay, was being held Thursday in Gregg County Jail on a charge of burglary of a habitation to intend other felony, and according to jail records, bond was set at $50,000. The arrest occurred about 2 hours after police responded to a domestic problem at 6:38 p.m. at an apartment complex in the 3700 block, blah, 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 blah. Okay? And they said that he had fled the scene. The woman stated she and George had been in a relationship for 8 years and had 4 children together. Wait, hold up, stop. He's 34, 33 children. They were in a relationship for 8 years. They have 4 children together. He's not that old, so that means the whole 8 years I'm going to assume that he was slanging peen for her and everybody else in the town. Okay? I mean, that's what the results kind of show, but it is what it is. So anyways, it says the woman stated she and George had been in a relationship for 8 years and had 4 children together, but they separated 2 weeks earlier, and she was staying in her mother's apartment, according to the report. She told police she tried to run into the kitchen after George kicked in the door, but the suspect grabbed her by her artificial hair, pulled it off, and struck her in on the left side of her head, and she fell. Okay, now, why y'all had to word it like this, a Longview Journal, talk about her artificial hair? Why we had to know that her hair was artificial? Why y'all couldn't just tell us that he pulled her hair and hit her on the side of her face and made her... Why y'all had to put in the artificial... You know what? Anyways, So they said she told the police she tried to run in the kitchen and George kicked in the door, but the suspect grabbed her by her artificial hair, pulled it off. I guess they wanted us to know that the reason why the hair came off was because it was artificial. Child. Anyways, and struck her on the left side of her head after she fell. Okay, it says George then grabbed her by the throat, made her get off the floor, and forced her onto the bathroom. The report said the woman fell again, and George struck her several times, pulled out a hanky-panky pokey stick, and held it close to her. The woman said she was able to get away from the apartment and call police. The report said police arrested George at a convenience store in the 800 block of the city. Okay. And this is the, at least he combed his hair, at least he did this, and at least he got them all Converse to match people in the back. I mean, at least she still had her real hair under, I guess, if we gonna go with the at least in the situation. I mean, and look on the brighter things, I don't know. But anyways, moving on. Now, looking over his court record that I have blurred out because, you know, I'm just going to blur it out, okay? But, child, I got the receipts, okay? I got the receipts for that if I need to pull them out. But anyways, I blurred it out for the sake of whatever. But anyways, so looking over this record, at first I started to redact certain things, put out the case number and do all of that and redact names, and I was like, child, I'm just gonna blur it because I'm tired of redacting stuff and doing this and that, and I'm just gonna tell y'all what I see. So in the document there are several things. The situation that I just told you guys about is on there. In this document that has all of these different charges for him, there is a lot of different child support cases with different kids' names on it. There's a tenant-landlord issue on different occasions. There's like a rental management issue versus him with like a landlord. Then there's something that he has some situation with a furniture company. There was a lot of stuff here. Like, it's just line by line by line of stuff. Something happened with a motor vehicle sale versus him. It just was a lot. It's just a lot. And there's no way that a man with all of these expenses, all of these cases, you know, you got disputes with landlords, you got disputes with furniture companies, you got disputes with the motor vehicle. There's no way a man with all of these things down under his list of civil and criminal charges can possibly be the best of the best of the best quality of a father that y'all are making him out to be. And I'm going to assume that's probably why he decided to go ahead and just scrub his Facebook and go and hide, because y'all was making it too hot in the kitchen for him. Child, y'all done went and dug up a post that he made just in March when he was saying, man, I just counted all my kids in BMs. Lord, I should have been stopped. Y'all done drug up his post where he said just in February talking about, Lord, I need to fix my credit. Child support, killing it. Now, I know the man that ain't throwing all the 20s in the screen ain't got bad credit because of child support. How you get bad credit because of child support? Does that mean that you're not paying the child support? So then those things are going on your credit? Because if you are taking care of all your kids and you paying your child support, it wouldn't affect your credit negatively. It would affect it positively. So then that would lead me to believe that you ain't really taking care of all your kids like you said you was. Child, and you got the nerve to be throwing them 20s at us on the screen, child. Anyways, honey. So the people have pulled up this post too, child, and this is why he went and scrubbed that Instagram. He said, y'all heifers ain't about to be pulling up no more post off my page no more. Child, y'all got Mr. Brian George or Brian George Demond or whatever his name is, child, y'all got him regret he ever shared his family photos with you ninjas. I know he probably felt like, I'm just casually sharing that I got 1 million kids, a proud dad, whoopty whoopty whoop. He didn't expect you internet fools to go looking up all his information, child. I know he is sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I know he mad he shared anything in the first place. But on a serious note, when I see guys going from woman to woman and planting their seed, I feel like they trying to prove something to themselves. And when I look at him and I look at his eyes and I look, you know what? Let me just move on. Now, on my page, there was a lot of people who was like, he ain't the only one with 30 kids and he ain't the only one whoop. And I'm like, is this a he ain't the only one good thing? Like, a lot of those cases with a lot of those other men, they were down bad. Like, there was a man who had 27 children and he had case after case after case of child support debt and all kind of stuff, and it just wasn't a good look and a good decision. And then there was another man who he had also said that he had 30 kids, and I guess he was mad that he was paying each baby mama $1.49 a month, and he was trying to get it reduced down. Now, that fella, he ended up having a very lengthy criminal record. And as of recently, as of last year, he had some very serious concerning charges as well. So it seems like a lot of the men who have this behavior of trying to have all of these kids, it seems like they have a pattern of behavior criminally as well, and a lot of people, at least this and at least that. And it's like, at least no, at least stop. Like, y'all give Nick Cannon hell for having 8 kids, but we gonna glorify the man that got 33? Child, let me give y'all a flashback of these other men who also got a bunch of kids.
I wanted 50 kids.
Well, you're almost halfway there.
Hey, I don't want no more.
Apparently, 22 is now enough for Orlando Shaw.
Don't want no more kids. I want to be fixed.
That's his choice, and no one at the Davidson County Juvenile Court is going to object. Cases involving Shaw's children can fill an entire docket.
Britton versus Shaw. We have Jenkins and Shaw, Williams and Shaw, and then Fain and Shaw, Jones and Shaw, different Jones and Shaw.
And the list goes on and on of the mothers represented by Child Support Services seeking support for their children.
Right now.
How do you father to that many children with that many women? It's hard to be in more than one place at once, isn't it?
It's called cell phones. It's called pick them up. You got to have it. You got to have it worked out.
What about contraception? Was that just not an option for you?
I was young, ambitious. I was just young and ambitious, and I loved women. Hey, you can't knock no man for loving women.
You like the idea of having that many children out there that you fathered. Is that it?
Yeah, Shaw legacy lives on.
Okay, so as you see that, the key word was the Shaw legacy lives on. And I mean, when you hear the word legacy, does that remind you of anything? These men really feel as though like they're just creating this great legacy of children. I mean, I think a good legacy would be to create generational wealth so that they can be supported. But he just is okay with having a bunch of hymns for years and years to come instead of having a bunch of money that they can survive off of for years and years to come.
Yeah, Shaw legacy lives on. My family stays strong. I make sure we'll be here for years and years to come.
I mean, I would prefer if he was focused on creating a life that they can sustain for years and years to come. But I guess for them, all it is to be able to have the name go for years and years to come. That's the bar. But anyways, moving on.
A man in Tennessee has 30 children with 11 different women, and he is 33 years old. Now, according to CNN affiliate WREG, he is now begging the state to help him pay his child support.
See, when he is working his minimum wage job, he is supposed to give 50% of his paycheck to the 11 women that he fathered these children with, and they are supposed to divide it equally. The problem is some of the women are only getting $1.49 because he does work minimum wage. So just this week he appeared in court and he's asking the court to give him a break on those payments, on the $1.49 that he's giving to help support his children. I don't think that the judge is going to help him out, you know, and I was reading recently that one of the news reports said that perhaps he needs to now do the cost-benefit analysis of birth control, and I think that's a really good suggestion for this guy.
Okay, so as you see that news clip, they are talking about a story that kind of went viral in 2012, I want to say. This was in the 18th of May in 2012, and it was of a man who fathered 30 kids with 11 different women, and he said he needed a break from his $1.49 payment. So his name is Desmond Hatchett. He was 33 back in 2012. And he could not keep up. Well, once they started to do some digging, if they found out that he didn't actually have 30 kids, that he actually had, I want to say like 24. So he had a little bit less than what he was claiming, but he still was trying to get a break of paying each mom $1.49.
Just the other day, and my Twitter blew up as well. People were really outraged by the fact that he had allegedly 30 children and he hadn't been paying child support. Well, get this, he only has 24 children, and on top of that, he hasn't been paying child support, but that's because he's been incarcerated.
Also had a very lengthy criminal record as well. So as you see right here, it says, in reality, after half his pay is deducted, the virile dad is only able to provide the mothers of his children the paltry sum of $1.49 a month. Okay. And it says the child support payments are based in part on the ages and needs of the children that Hatchett has produced. And the 33-year-old's oldest child is 14 years old. Desmond explained to Fox2Now.com how it all snowballed out of control financially for him. I had 4 kids in the same year twice. Okay, so 1 year he slang peen from girl to girl to girl and got 4 girls pregnant, and then another year he slang peen 4 times, girl to girl to girl, and got child. It was just a lot. Okay, so he asked in a TV interview whether he can keep up with it all. The 33-year-old said he knows all their names, ages, and birth dates, and then they showed his baby mamas. Okay, so this same guy right here who had this viral story back in 2012, well, he had an updated story where it showed that he had been arrested as of 2021. So this is him, and you see right here, this was published September 7th, 2021. And this is Desmond Hatchett, who has all of these kids. And now they have reduced the kids down from 30. Now it's saying that he has 21 children. You know, I don't know if they losing count or if he's deducting kids. Maybe DNA tests are ruling out some of the possibilities. I don't know, but this is nonetheless the same guy who previously was paying $1.49, okay, to each of his baby mamas. Well, in 2021, he got arrested because he had a very, 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 very serious charge, okay? So it says Desmond Hatchett, who is now 42, was spotted around Sunday around 6 p.m., and basically, KPD Community Engagement Response Team officers in the Redford Taurus, a car associated with him, a release from KPD. When officers attempted to stop Hatchett, he led them on a brief chase from North Mary Street to the 4100 block of Skyline, where he fled on foot. Officers were able to stop him and take him into custody. Hatchett was wanted for 7 warrants out of Knox County, including aggravated burglary, aggravated domestic, and failure to appear on charges of the R word, robbery, aggravated assault, aggravated burglary, and violation of order of protection. So he had order of protection from somebody, and he was charged with the R word and domestic assault. I don't know if this was one of his girlfriends who probably didn't want him no more, and they was like, boy, get out of here. I'm like, you're a danger. And then he felt like he could still get the kitty cat whenever he wanted to, and no. That ain't how it worked. So he got arrested for that. And so it just seems like a lot of these guys with these large amounts of kids have a lot of similar behaviors.
A Dayton man says he has 27 children with 17 different women. Nathaniel Smith made national headlines last week when he appeared on Fox 45 on the TV show Divorce Court.
I asked if he thought he was a good father.
I do better with the children I have than some men do with 2 or 3 kids that they have. Baby boy. I hear jokes all the time. Every time I see you, you got a different kid with you. Interview one of those people.
Child, so as you hear him, his statements sound very similar to the guy who we reported on also. He made statements, I do better with my kids than people who have 2-3 kids. And I mean, ain't that the same thing that homeboy said also? I don't feel like running it back and copying and pasting and cutting it and clipping it. So y'all could just run it back to the beginning of the video and find it either in this video or my other video. But yeah, it's like they all have similar behaviors. They all have similar talking points, and they just think that it is good to be spreading a seed around town. And it's like, okay, I mean, how are they going to be sufficient in life? Like, if you have 30 kids, how are you putting a sufficient amount into a college fund? How are you setting up their future with regular jobs? None of these men are rich. None of these men have generational wealth. None of these men are passing down anything of value other than the fact that they passing down their seed, and they creating so many babies that now when their kids go out in the world, they got to wonder if a person they potentially are going to date is a brother or a sister. I mean, that's just weirdly what is given more so than, a legacy. They love to say this legacy word, we're creating a legacy and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, children are a blessing, but child, you need more in your legacy than just, more kids. Help sustain the kids, because it's just not giving what it's supposed to have gave. But anyways, that's all for this video. I'll see y'all on the next one.